Travis Wayne Goodsell, I interrupt my watching of the New Mutants, number 10 in the X-Men series, to correct CNN. Dear God. Talk about your non-professionalism. CNN came out with a news article, The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Fast Facts. They might as well be called fast fiction. It's just, oh my God. Fast Fiction 9. I guess we'll have to make it 10, because Fast and Furious 9 already came out. Gotta wait for it on DVD. I should probably check. I won't do it now. So they just did an editorial research and they got all their information wrong. Oh dear God. Joseph Smith Jr., well, they got the birth date right. They got the death date right. Founded the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints around 1830. Oh my God. Now I can understand if they're going, well, there was this incident in 1929, but they don't seem to have a clue about that. And so, in 1830. And it would be nice to put April 6th because of the latter day, third day of darkness has significant bearing. He is seen as a living prophet. He's dead. Who did this? I know the hymn, he ascended to heaven, traitors and tyrants no longer fight in vain, or whatever. But seriously, he was seen as a living prophet. He is seen as the founding prophet. The Book of Mormon, they had to put that in quotes, is believed to be the result, so good, believed, of Joseph Smith's communion with the divine. What? No. You need to talk to me first before you embarrass yourself to the world. CNN. Oh dear God. It is also the source for the common nickname for the church and its followers, Mormons. They get into that later on. Beliefs, practices. The Church of Jesus Christ under Joseph was Jewish. Oh, no. Christian. Seriously? No, CNN. No. Bad CNN. Bad. Joseph Smith claimed to have begun receiving messages at age 14 from God, Jesus Christ, and other heavenly messengers. Nope. He doesn't. Read the history of the church under the first vision. Find him calling that personage anything other than a personage. See, Mormons consider themselves to be Christian. Why? We're Jewish. They follow the teachings found within the Christian Bible. Yeah, screw the Jews and their Bible. The Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, and Pearl and Gray Prize. The Book of Mormon tells the story of Israelites. New Israelites? Is that connected to the New Israelites of Vermont that Joseph Smith Sr. belonged to? Who left Jerusalem around 600 BC? Come on, CNN. And traveled to North America. Oh, you're being bold. They're giving us a precise geographic location. After a calling from God, they set up civilizations, and centuries later witnessed an appearance by Jesucristos after his crucifixion and resurrection and ascension. Ascension. Did you ask the prophets this information? Is this why they had the church historian come out and say, this is how you know information is true? You ask other Mormons. They believe that God sent many prophets to spread his word after Jesus Christ's death and resurrection. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. The church is led by a prophet who also serves as president of the church. The president serves for life. No, he serves until death. The church's organizational hierarchy is the sexist all-male general authorities, from which the American crime organization patterned its organization after. The first presidency, the president and 2 counselors instead of 1 for the criminal organization, the quorum of the 12 apostles with the underboss of the criminal organization who takes over for the boss upon his death, the first quorum of the 70, the second quorum of the 70. Guys, oops, it's now the General 70. Hello, you missed something here. This has long been changed. It was secretly done under Monson. He didn't bother to tell even Mormons. It was just all of a sudden in conference he says to the general authority, these guys are new. What? General authority? What? General 70? What? Okay, so the primary is now leadership in the church. I guess Nelson's Mormon Youth Battalion has been upgraded to an official military arm of the church. Just like Hitler did. Yay! We're Nazis! And all female. Really? What gave you that clue? Relief Society. Stripped of all priesthood and priesthood offices by Brigham Young. Did that video not too many weeks ago. Sunday school now rules the church, as it's been cut in half, thanks to Nelson. Young men and young women who have been raped, and so the church, in order to avoid responsibility for the rapings, pulled the Boy Scouts from the church. But the women still continue to get raped at BYU. As the latest was the psycho guy who was stalking women at the jogging trail, and he groped her, and I can't, it was some lame excuse. Children are baptized at age 8 and are forced to pay tithing. Yep. That is missing, CNN. You had an opportunity to expose their crimes, and you blew it. New members are also baptized and are forced to pay tithing. There are 2 orders of priesthood. A young man, 12 or older, can enter into the Aaronic priesthood, seen as an earthly priesthood. So the Melchizedek priesthood is not real? It's a heavenly priesthood. Yes, I have heavenly priesthood. Do you want to hold the priesthood, ladies? If you're unfamiliar with the church, in the singles wards, that joke is thrown around all the time. By both men and women. Melchizedek priesthood can be obtained when a man turns 18. This entails spiritual and heavenly duties. Has nothing to do with anything on earth. Melchizedek priesthood, honey. Give me a Mountain Dew. I've got spiritual duties to attend to. Oh my God. CNN. I want to get married again just so they can use that line and see how she reacts. I had a dream, and I put it in my vlog journal, where 3 younger women than myself, I had no clue what age I was in the dream, all were interested in me, and I couldn't handle all 3 of them. They were too much for me to handle. I could already see the jealousy, the feeling left out, and oh my God. It's bad enough that I couldn't keep one twice over. But, no. Polygamy is just bad all around. Oh my God. And I felt bad. I liked each and every single one of those girls, and I didn't know them well enough to be choosing. How do you choose in the beginning? You can't. Follow a strict code, or health code, that prohibits the consumption of tobacco, alcohol, tea, and coffee. Yeah, forget the drugs. Church is all about drugging the Mormons, who are rebellious with the psychos. They are encouraged to tithe. Encouraged? Is that what they told you to put? Encouraged. That's what a Nazi would say. You are encouraged to participate in our human experimentation. Non-compliance will be met with disciplinary action. You have your agency. Choose now, please. Oh my God. Many church members between the ages 18 and 25 for males and 19 and 25 for females become missionaries. Oh my God. What? No, women can keep going after 25. Or did Nelson stop that? Or did Monson stop that? Because as far as I understood, women can continue for the rest of their life if they're still single. Single men serve for 2 years. Single women serve for 18 months. After some failed experimentations, the church is headquartered at Demon Central with the inverted pentagram. Alright, timeline. Oh dear God. Okay, well, he doesn't start from the beginning. He starts in 1827, or whoever wrote this. Smith is purportedly shown by an angel the burial site of... Burial site? That refers to dead bodies. But yeah, I understand. Fine. And you mistakenly put golden. Engraved golden. No, gold. It has to be gold. There's a reason for that, and you're missing the point, as Mormons are purposely deceiving you to miss the point. It's gold. And yes, they would weigh 200 pounds if they were real. They're not real, but it's still gold. It needs to be gold in the story. It is gold in the story. Tell it as gold. And tell the story, the story, and they didn't even put Egyptian. Did they interview a prophet for this? That's my only excuse for why they didn't put Egyptian. That tell the story of American prophets living in the New World, and they were white men, all male. He publishes the Book of Mormon in 1830. And again, they're not putting April 6th. That's kind of crucial for the latter days. The translation of the golden plates deciphered through special stones. Got your special stones right here. And divine guidance. And so they got that updated, didn't they? Yep. Yeah, if you missed this morning's video, I talk all about it. How Joseph Smith was able to go back and steal the Urim and Thummim and was arrested for it. Nobody tells me I can't touch them and take them out and use them. Moroni or Nephi, whatever your name is supposed to be. July 17th, 1831. Smith claims to have received the revelation commanding the practice of plural marriage. No, Smith doesn't claim it. Brigham Young claimed it, and he put it in his Doctrine and Covenants the year before he died. God. Again, what all the historians and ex-Mormons who have done history research have found is that Brigham and company made claims about Joseph, and for some bizarre reason they believed Brigham. So no, Smith did not claim it. Just compare the literary style. You'll find it doesn't match. That's all you gotta do. Leave Joseph Smith alone. Is Brittany free yet? April 14th, 1832. Brigham Young is baptized into the church. Yeah, you forgot to tell the part that the new author of the book reminded us of, but thinks it's a good thing. He had been attending church for those 2 years, faithfully, with his sick wife. Oh, why did he then join? Where's his wife? Oh, she died? The church didn't heal her of her sickness. They didn't join the church while she was sick and alive. She dies, not being healed. Brigham Young instantly joins, and you think that's a good thing. You have no clue what evil people do for revenge. 1835. You forgot the 33 edition of the Book of Commandments. Doctrine and Covenants is published as a record of prophecies foretold to Smith. Yeah, it's all coded, remember? Oh, you don't put that in here? They didn't tell you it was coded? Oh, You didn't do your research then, did you? It's in a Wikipedia article all by itself. List of code names in the Doctrine and Covenants. It was partially decoded. Don't listen to the article where it says all of it was decoded in 1981. I've gone over many examples for you. And so yes, Book of Commandments was first in 1833. Doctrine and Covenants. Oh, those dirty rat bastards. Those dirty rat bastards. They're claiming Section 132 was put in 1835. The church is telling them to rewrite history and erase the whole chapter on monogamy. Put in 1835. Oh my God. Smith writes in Section 132, under 1835 Doctrine and Covenants, that God has told him he can marry as many women as he wants. It's out of harmony with the linguistic style. He says, Emma, I'm gonna murder you if you don't let me have sex with other women. Wah. I can commit any crime I want except for murder. Wah. No, he did not write this. It was not put in 1835. Oh dear God, CNN. Bleepity bleep 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 church. 1839. Smith leads followers to Commerce, Illinois, where I am raising my blood pressure. Where he becomes mayor and renames the town Nauvoo. Obviously he's the mayor. He's the leader of the church and they're all Mormon. Who else would be the mayor? Oh, right. Bennett. Bennett would be the mayor. In fact, Bennett was the mayor in 1839. That's another error. Bennett was excommunicated John C. Bennett. Yeah, Bennett was essential to passing the Nauvoo City Charter in Illinois legislature. Let's see. Yeah, first mayor of Nauvoo, Illinois. 1841. So maybe they're right, but Bennett was put in after Joseph. But then Joseph took over again after he was excommunicated on the 17th of May, 1842. Or 11th of May 1842, because that's when he was removed. That's when he was excommunicated. So yeah, 6 days later he was removed as mayor. And for those of you who are wondering about the evilness of Brigham and Heber C. Kimball, I refer you to his practice of spiritual wifery. He was causing abortions by administering medicine. No, it's not medicine if it does harm. It's called drugs if the women became pregnant from having sex with them. Mormon women giving their bodies to John C. Bennett, for which he was administering drugs to cause abortions. Mormon women. It causes a man not to want to get married. If I had known about this, that Mormon women are Bleep bleeps. Dear God. But yeah, there's another part that needs to be brought out. He had, after his excommunication, come on, where is it? See, he was excommunicated, and then he went to the Danites for help. Guys, save me! I need help! And they said, no, we're not supporting our own. Just like the devil, don't support their own. And they threatened to kill him. And so he then went and, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Where is it? Don't make me read the whole thing. Why is it not in blue? Oh, don't tell me the church took it out. Oh, don't you... Oh, there it is. He went to Beaver Island, Michigan with the Strangites and convinced James Strang to start polygamy, for which James Strang was assassinated there on Beaver Island in Michigan. This was after Joseph Smith's death. And then John C. Bennett then went and founded, he's got association with the Danites, went to them for help for being excommunicated. Why would he go to them? Because Joseph excommunicated him for adultery, which he called spiritual wifery. What's going on here? And so then, failing to get polygamy with James Strang, he then founds his own order called a Halcyon Order of the Illuminati. Oh, the Illuminati's just a hoax. They're not real. They're not a threat. Their symbol of the inverted pentagram is not on the keystone of the doors of the headquarters of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that Brigham Young ordered to have carved there. Is it? It's all fake news, right, CNN? So you got to do your research. Don't trust the church. Where were we? So they skip all the way to 1844, leaving out some key vital information, like March 17th, 1842, Joseph Smith gives women priesthood, office, and the priesthood. Should have done priesthood first, then office. I did that video a couple of weeks ago. And thus silenced the church. So yeah, that's a missing. But because they clearly want to highlight certain key things, that would be something to highlight, CNN. Smith announces his candidacy for presidency of the United States. And YouTube, if you do a video, will put Biden is the real winner of the 2020 election. I'm not talking about Biden. Get that off of my video. And so here, February 1844, Smith, along with his brother Hiram, are jailed on charges of treason. No. It's June 1844. Because in April 1844, we get the King Follett Discourse. He's not in jail yet. And the King Follett Discourse is where we find out that Joseph Smith is actually a translator of Biblical Hebrew. church has removed the Hebrew that was put in, because the first one they got correct, but then they referred to another passage of Lucifer speaking about becoming gods, and they put in the same Hebrew in the first instance. And instead of correcting it and putting in the correct Hebrew, let's just get rid of the Hebrew. Let's not have Mormons figure out the code of how to decipher Paleo-Hebrew, because Travis has already caused enough problems for us already. June 27th, 1844, the jail, the Big Lie, in Carthage, Illinois, where Smith and Hiram are held, is attacked. The jail was not attacked. Who wrote this? By an anti-Mormon mob. They weren't anti-Mormon. They were paid 30 pieces of silver by Brigham and Heber. And the mob didn't murder them. And both men are killed. So they sort of assume it was the mob, but they don't quite do it. But nope, the mob was acquitted. They're innocent. They didn't do it. Somebody else did. Who else was in the room? Why is no one else listed here as being in the room with Smith and Hiram? Why weren't they murdered with Smith and Hiram? If it's an anti-Mormon mob, you'd think they'd want to kill all Mormons. How did those two other Mormons escape murder? Huh. Strange. Must have been because they hid in the haystack in the prison cells. Nobody would ever think to look in the haystack. I mean, seriously? Oh my God! We're supposed to believe it's the mob. The Big Lie. One of many. A large group of followers of Brigham Young? Oh, it's a comma, not a period. The death of Smith causes the church to splinter. It's more than 3 groups, CNN. Much, much more than 3 groups. The large group of Danites and extorted women follow Brigham Young. Others follow Smith's son, James. Do they? Are you sure his name was James? CNN? Oh my God! No! It's Joseph Smith III, and he was too young to be president. And so when he was older, and much older actually, he didn't seem to have an interest in starting up a church when he was younger, as a man. But he did some reconnaissance in Salt Lake, checking up on the Mormons, and thus it's called the Reorganized Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, now called the Community of Christ. But it's like he didn't know anything about his father, because he didn't get the Doctrine and Covenants. Well, no, he did. They have their own. They added their own stuff to it, where's our added stuff by the true and living prophets of God who receive revelation constantly in councils? Yeah, so no, it's not his son James. They messed up because of James Strang. And so as a result, they also missed Sidney Rigdon. He's a prominent Mormon who went and did his church again. There are still followers of Sidney Rigdon's church to this day. They're small, I know, but wherever they go, I can't remember the primary hymn. They're small, I know, but wherever they go, I don't know the lyrics. Dear God. You should have... oh my God. Is this the quality of CNN? Is this what we should expect from all your programming? 1846 to 1847. Young kidnaps Mormons, holds them hostage, and traffics them out of the United States. And becomes president of the church. Yeah, it's a little more than president. He becomes king of Deseret, having conquered the indigenous people in Mexico territory. March 4th, 1851 to March 3rd, 1859. Dr. John M. Bernheisel, good German name, becomes the first Mormon to be elected to the U.S. Congress, where he serves as a delegate for the Utah Territory in the House of Representatives. Yeah, and tell them what else happened during that time. You're not going to tell them? Brigham Young was using tithing to extort immigrant recruited Mormon converts and giving them American citizenship. He's a bad, bad boy, and thus we have the current tithing scandal today, because the church just can't stop committing crime. Potentially 8 more minutes until the first presidency meeting is over with, and so unless it has to go overtime as they're making more reservations. In case you missed it yesterday, I didn't tell you, so you had to know by following the church news. The church has already set up one of their escape routes to a non-extradition country called Cambodia. Yes, they're going to do a dedication in Cambodia September 18th, 17th, somewhere around there. So obviously they have to get there a few days in advance to prepare and blah, blah, blah. They're already setting up their escape routes. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Kind of tragic. He sings a song about how he dies. Final Destination, with the 9 Inch Nails doing a revision of Final Destination of 9 Inch Nails. Both are awesome songs. Got to get the music video for the 9 Inch Nails. That is going to be the theme song for this very long video that's keeping me from finishing the movie New Mutants. 9 Inch Nails. And I have that of my own as well. Muppets are essential. Alright, so April 6th. See, this would have been a good opportunity to let the audience know why April 6th, as you use it again here, 2 more down, is important to Mormons. To April 8th, 1877. Dedication for the first operating temple in Utah, St. George. Wow, right before Brigham Young died. Isn't that great? They had the endowment house, I think it was called, where Brigham Young was watching Zena or Zeba or whatever her name was perform washings of women as they were naked so that he could watch. I guess that was his fetish. And then he had to get a brothel on Commerce Avenue, which was Regent Street. It's now been torn down as they've remodeled it now. Gotta hide that from church history. Can't have that around. No, no, no. Gotta rewrite church history. Make Brigham Young the good guy and Joseph the bad guy. Because you notice, Joseph? Oh, Joseph is crazy. He talks to the dead and looks in rocks. Brigham? Oh, Brigham was the popular one. He came to Utah. Mormons were participants in the United States. You see what they're doing? See what the church has done? It's all a big con and frame up. God. September 24th, 1890. The practice of polygamy is banned. Why is it banned by the church? Why? Why is it that not until 1910 members who continue the practice are excommunicated? That's 20 years. What's going on? What happened? CNN, what are you missing that you're not telling us? Is there something like the Edmunds-Tucker Act, maybe, that would help us? Oh my God! This is poor, shoddy workmanship. April 6th to the 24th, 1893. The Salt Lake Temple is dedicated in Salt Lake City. Yeah, can you tell them why it took so long? It is the longest in square footage and takes 40 years to complete, and is the only granite stone temple, which is significant when you read the not decoded section 45 of the Doctrine and Covenants. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. If that were to ever happen soon. They've already been caught in the tithing jar. (1917 to 1940). Nope. They're not going to talk about it. The church was reincorporated in 1923. In 1922, the intellectuals finally caught up to the knowledge of the prophets and realized the whole church history of magic, necromancy, and rocks and hats are not real. It didn't happen. Something else is going on, and we're concerned. Because the prophets already knew. They were already setting things in motion in 1921 with the removal of the doctrine from the Doctrine and Covenants. Yeah, lectures on faith. Who needs faith? We're gonna be evangelical Mormons, so we can't have Joseph's faith. Oh my God! Nope, instead, William H. King, Democrat. And if you don't know, there was a switch in platform policies. Democrats were the platform of current MAGA, and thus supported Nazis. So don't be fooled into thinking he's a modern Democrat of the deep state. He was a Nazi Democrat of the deep state. The first Latter-day Saint member to be a U.S. Senator. You're not going to talk about Reed Smoot? Just did that video! Come on! He also serves in the House from 1897 to 1900. Dear God, CNN. January 4th, 2007. Well, let's just skip over the part where they're no longer racist, right? You can just turn it off whenever you want, right? Oh, we're not racist anymore. We allow blacks to pay their tithing. Oh my God! Oh my God! I do not want to live past 2024 if the church does not get held accountable. You do understand that's when they're making all their changes, because there's something coming and they're prepared for it, but they're not wanting to tell. I'll give you a hint. That green woman in Congress who's got nothing to do because she's been stripped of all her assignments wrote up articles of impeachment, and it's not going to pass anytime soon. They might have to wait until after the 2022 midterm election, where they've already rigged it and had the Supreme Court stamp it with a seal of approval that if you don't vote for MAGA, your vote don't count. And so, yes, there's going to be a blood wave through Congress, and they've already told us they're going to impeach and indict Biden and Harris. Oh, that would make the Speaker of the House the President of the United States. Who? Oh, MAGA? Oh, they're going to give it over to Trump. Yay! Guess what's going to happen after that? We already know. Many people have published lots of books on what Trump was doing behind the scenes. That what we saw in person from him actually coming out and confessing what his crimes are that he's committing were actually worse behind the scenes. But people kept saying no. So Black Lives Matter protesters expect to be assassinated. Isn't that fun? Yay! United States, the greatest country on earth. Yay! We follow the... Well, we don't, actually. We're not supposed to have party groups. Constitution says no. But Mormons should recognize the Constitution because they were supposed to save it. Something else not talked about by CNN. So yeah, January 4th, 2007, Senator Harry Reid is elected Senate Majority Leader. He's a real Democrat, though he didn't always vote according to Democrat platform. The highest office obtained by a Mormon in U.S. history. Well, yeah, because Orrin Hatch was after Harry Reid. February 4th, 2008. Thomas S. Monson is not chosen. It's like the criminal organization. The underboss automatically takes over. The 1923 Articles of Incorporation put that in its articles. He is not chosen. And Hinckley died right before a lunar eclipse. If you remember, I did the video. It's been about a couple of months now, hasn't it? About patterns of lunar eclipses and deaths of Mormon prophets. Coincidental confirmation, I have termed. So when is this next one? We're in that pattern. I'm getting sick and tired of waiting, as you can tell. 2008 to 2011, Monson and former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney is a presidential aspirant. Oh, not Monson, it's Mormon. Former. Yeah. Mitt Romney runs for president. And yes, Putin blames Mitt Romney for rigging the Russian election, because Mitt Romney was the only one who said that Putin's a bad guy. Everybody else was saying Putin's our kind of guy. just like everybody was saying Hitler was their kind of guy. January 27th, 2015, at a press conference, church leaders pledge to support anti-discrimination laws for gays. We embrace gays. We love them. Yeah, this ain't real. No, they did not pledge. Again, by their fruits you shall know them. It doesn't matter what they say openly. It's what is produced as a result. And so, following this, do you cover it? Nope, they go on to talk about 2016, October 25th, saying that the church launched Mormon and Gay. Oh, listen to this. Oh, yep. A new section of its official website that's intended to facilitate understanding and provide information on sexual identification, church doctrine, and, wait for it, mental health resources. Do you know what that means? Gays are mentally ill. That's what it means. Mormon and Gay. Yay! Yep. If you're a nuisance to the church, you're retarded. You're crazy. You're mad. You're a Benadai. Yep. Mental health is code for we hate you, we're labeling you as retarded, but we're using a softer side, a softer word that will make you feel pacified, flattered, and deceived about our true intentions of treating you. Yes, psychos. Psychology is a fake science. The professional terminology is pseudoscience. You have Governor Cox saying, oh yeah, next year in 2022, in October, the Department of Health and Human Services are going to be joined as one. Yay! So now that you're poor, you can now be treated for being retarded. Oh, they don't want to use that word. That makes them sound bad. We refer to behavioral science. There's no such thing. It's a bully organization that has been given license to be legally practiced and legally to be drug pushers for the pharmaceutical companies, which takes away the people's lifespan. The manner in which it works will summarize for you. They name call you. They don't use retarded anymore. They say, oh, you have a mental illness. They repeat it over and over and over and over and over again until you are forced to accept it. It's called brainwashing, mind manipulation, by repeatedly telling you a lie. Then they drug you, which causes withdrawal symptoms when the drugs start to wear off. Then they can claim, see, you are retarded, mentally ill, because of the manner in which you act. We have to constantly drug you to keep you balanced. You have a problem. You need to accept that problem. And we're the ones to help you. Don't run. We're here to help you. If you saw Mars Attacks, we're your friends. Don't run. Zap. Awesome movie. I didn't think the song was that bad. But it was a cool popping. And so, yes, CNN is not talking about the 80s when the church was doing electroshock therapy to cure the gay. That was a failed program. It didn't cure anybody. It just caused the fear in them to claim they weren't gay anymore. Case in point, those who said that were bi already. So, yeah, gay is gone. Yep, I only desire women now. Yep. Can I go? Please, let me go. Please. And if you're unaware of shock therapy, I refer you to Ghostbusters. You definitely have it. August 8th, 2017, a day that shall live in infamy for the church. And I did the revisiting of that video. The church excommunicates James J. Hamula. You're not talking about his name? You don't say his name. Say his name! Lee. Elder Lee was excommunicated in 1989. And then he was framed and set up and destroyed by the church. How dare you want the American Indians to blossom as a rose? We determined who blossoms. And we've got our hands in the tithing jar to prove it. August 16th, 2018. They don't talk about it, do they? They talk about Hamula as Monson is on his deathbed, and I covered it in the video. They asked him to do a favor, and he said no. That's why he was excommunicated. And so yes, Monson was then assassinated because he wasn't dying quick enough. And so Nelson takes over. But they're skipping to August 16th, 2018, skipping the part where Russia, if you're listening, a major temple yet to be determined in Russia. Yes, the church is in bed with our enemy, Russia, who we are at war with, but we decide not to attack them. But Russia loves attacking us. Isn't that great? They were murdering our soldiers, paying for their murders, and Trump did nothing. They hacked the election to allow Zedekiah, the first king of Babylon, Russia, on the throne of America. Yep, a lot of stuff missing in here, CNN. And April 4th, August 16th, that's when Nelson got on his name kick. We're changing Google, Microsoft, YouTube, and other social media analog programs to cut back on the views of those who use the nickname. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints will now be programmed into all these analog programs for which we are heavily invested with your tithing, so that we will be the spotlight of everybody's search on all things church. In case you didn't know, that's how it's done. That's why he did it. Jesus isn't mad. Jesus isn't real. Unless you're talking Lucifer, who told Moses, I am the only begotten, worship me. I have the inverted pentagram, see? April 4th, 2019. Church announces that those in same-sex marriages will no longer be treated as apostates. I call bleep bleep. Their children can be baptized. Wait a minute. Their children can be baptized? What? When were they not allowed to be baptized? Where's that, CNN? This was one of the many retractions by Nelson. They're just telling the good stuff about the church. Dear God. And making Joseph look like the bad guy. May 6th, 2019. The church announces that couples who have been married civilly no longer have to wait 1 year before getting sealed in a temple wedding. So yes, Mormons, you can now have sex before marriage in the temple and still be okay. If your bishop finds out because you have a wife who narcs on you, first of all, you shouldn't marry her. You need to run. But if the two of you happen to do this together, because you can't wait, it's okay now. You just go to the courthouse, pay the money, and bada book, bada boom. Oh, here, Bishop, take that. Now seal us. Have us approved. That's all that's needed now. You don't need to go to BYU or to Las Vegas. That used to be the thing with BYU co-eds. They'd go down to Vegas for the weekend, get married, have sex, get annulment, come back to BYU, never see him again, never call, until the next weekend when you take another woman down. So yeah, all that is thwarted by Nelson. August 2019. The church changes its handbook to prohibit carrying lethal weapons on church property. You skip the whole part of they brought out the handbook. They made it public. That was crucial. It's like, what are they doing? This is the coveted handbook that they sued the Tanners to have taken down. And they're just making it public? Are they planning on fleeing the country to a non-extradition country like they are now? To Cambodia? In the middle of September? Are you sure? What happened during that time when they brought it out? Was there another lawsuit that we don't know about that was filed on the 30th of September 2019? Wait, that was before. That's right. It was 2020 when they brought it out. I have to retract. Yep, that's what it was. That the temple changes 2019. Where's that? Temple changes are missing. Women no longer obey their husbands. They obey the prophets who speak for God and who order Mormon women to obey their husbands. And polygamy is being brought back in the law of chastity. Those, according to his law, has CNN botched section 132. God, blaming Joseph. My hell. Oh, yeah, it was brought out in 1835. Joseph Smith was going to murder Emma. He wanted extra wives. And she said no. But she didn't divorce him. Oh my God, they're rewriting church history. They're making Joseph look like the bad guy. My hell. So yeah, no weapons in church. Why would you bring a weapon to church? I don't know, maybe the bishop is saying, hey, I noticed you didn't pay a full tithe. Pay up now, or my counselors as they have their hands on their holsters. Pay. I'll get it to you. We're going to have to break a kneecap. October 2nd, 2019. Church announces women will now be able to serve as witnesses to baptisms and temple sealings. They already were. I would go do baptisms for the dead, and they're short on staff, and the women are just there. I was even in an endowment session where there were no women. They couldn't get the ordinance worker women to join. They were busy elsewhere. And so what had to happen? Well, there were a couple of guys who had to have other guys with them, and they had to choose which one would be the woman. It was a very uncomfortable situation for them. I got myself a woman and never saw her again. Oh, dear God. That was at the Jordan River Temple. When that happened? December 17th, 2019. Church responds to a whistleblower who testified Tuesday and spilled the beans. And for those of you Mormons who are in denial, he has the documents. He gave it to the IRS. Mnuchin chose not to do anything with it. He's got the documents. His testimony on Tuesday is backed by documents. So screw all of you. The church is going down in flames. And then they didn't talk about the $6 billion that they made off of the deaths of coronavirus. They only say that the church is the good guys. 25th of March 2020 to May 11th, 2020, the church suspends all temple activity worldwide and church activity. I should have taken a picture of the notification that our stake president had put on our stake house. I thought I should do it. I thought, well, the document itself from the church is good enough. I can still do an overlay on our stake center. I got the picture of our stake. And you just do the document as a picture and put it over the door. I can do that, I guess, but yeah. I was begging and pleading with you to follow your scriptures, the Word of God, to stay home and stay safe, and the church profited off of your deaths. CNN is trying to make Brigham Young and the current church look good. Dear God. And so here they lie. More than 16.5 million members worldwide. That's a lie. They're down to 3 million active membership. And it's not members. There is no membership fee. It's not a donation. You must pay or they break your kneecaps. 54,000 missionaries, 167 temples. Dear God. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. An hour and 8 minutes. Dear God.